And for more on this, we are now joined by energy analyst Professor Hartmut Winkler, and he joins us now via our video link. Professor, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, let's start off here. Like you heard there from that package we saw, it's nothing new when it comes to these power outages being faced by the city of Tshwane. The latest one, we are being told in a statement from the city that it was caused by a power station or substation. The transformer thereby tripped. What do you make of this latest power outage in the city of Tshwane?
Hello, good evening. Yes, while these sort of things do happen periodically everywhere, this is unusual that it's been happening so much. If one goes back over the last few years and just looks at news stories, one can just see lots and lots of outages happening. And they always seem to be connected somehow. Just to explain how the system works, Eskom supplies power by the high voltage lines that run usually from Mpumalanga or other places. And at some places, in this case, a Nyala substation, which is in Moreta Park in Pretoria, that then takes the Eskom power and transforms its voltage down to a lower level where it can then be transmitted into the city network. And that seems to be where the problem happened. Now, Eskom say that that's already within the domain that Tshwane municipality is responsible for, and Tshwane haven't challenged that, so that seems to be the case. They've also found that the problem is indeed there at this Nyala substation. There's probably other places as well where this could have happened. I think the problem, it's not just Tshwane, it's also Johannesburg. And elsewhere, is that just that the local electricity system is getting so old and badly maintained that these sort of breakdowns happen very often. There seems to be some sort of generic problem, and what exactly the solution it's going to be difficult to say. It sounds to me that this particular outage has now been fixed. I speak under correction, but that's just what some of the news reports seem to suggest, that they managed to fix this one at least. But given how often this has happened, who knows when this is going to be occurring again. So it's something that it certainly for the long term, they need to try and get to the bottom of this, where exactly the issue is. But at the moment, it really just seems to be reactive, kind of fix it, and once it's up and running, leave it until next time something breaks down. And they'll probably tell you that whether it's Tshwane municipality or otherwise, they'll tell you that it's an issue of money.
Yeah, and Professor, coming to the issue that you have mentioned, I mean, it's not the first time we're hearing when it comes to the infrastructure and some of the systems being too old. But what needs to be done in the city of Tshwane to ensure that they can manage to consistently keep the lights on for residents?
Well, ultimately, I think they're going to have to replace a lot of the infrastructure they have, and it will depend on which section it is. Depends. There's lots of minor power stations, sorry, not power stations, substations around the city, and lots of transformers there. They literally need to go through there and actually check which one is first of all, come up with a proper maintenance program. It seems that this hasn't really happened. Similar problem to what happened with Eskom. Eskom managed to turn around their load shedding crisis basically by making sure that their management of their power station, that they managed to service them reasonably often. It looks like that's what's going to happen to Tshwane. They're going to have to look at somehow try and raise the money to replace those components which really seem to be way past their operable date, and it's not going to be an easy thing to get around. They are going to continue having problems, but at least the situation can improve. Right? We just need a proper plan how to deal with it. At the moment, everything seems to be done on an ad hoc, reactive basis. There's a problem here, let's go fix it. It's fixed, okay, fine, let's wait for the next one.
And Professor, usually when we face major power outages, I mean, the municipality often tells us about illegal connections. What role does illegal connections then play when it comes to, the tripping of a substation?
In this case, I don't think it was illegal connection, because this was one of the major ones. It's one of the main entry points where the Eskom's national power grid feeds into Tshwane. So the voltages we're talking about, they are far too big. So this is not some sort of local little station where people can just plug in there to steal electricity. That wouldn't have happened there. What could be a problem, though, is, and we hear of cable theft quite often.
Okay.
I know that's also an issue in Tshwane, as it is elsewhere. Every time that happens, that often goes hand in hand with tripping, because in order to actually take the cables out there, you can't have power running in them. So that's often associated with some sort of minor sabotage at some of the stations. So that again is something that not only Tshwane but the country as a whole needs to get a grip on. And ultimately, I think it boils down to closing down the supply lines, because all the copper gets stolen, gets taken out of the country.
Yeah.
And so it's fairly sophisticated, and the whole thing needs to be challenged as such. It's no good just looking at trying to catch the small fish. Ultimately, we need to look at the bigger problem.
Professor, thank you so much for your time. That's Professor Hartmut Winkler there, energy analyst, talking to us about the situation in the city of Tshwane. Of course, we do understand that power outage took place yesterday, and power has since been restored to affected areas.